Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast. Merry Christmas. A couple of days gone now, Christmas, but we're near to the new year. We're gonna start as we mean to go on. And today I'm going to be speaking to Michelle again from the Vegan Hub. Thank you very much for joining us on the show. Yeah. I was going to explain my situation at the moment. Obviously, we're recording this before Christmas. I'm banking up some shows so I can have a Christmas, and at the moment, we're kind of moving house. So my situation right now is I'm sat on the floor, on the coffee, the all the mics and everything's on the coffee table. I'm holding my mic. So it's a bit topsy-turvy. But the good thing is we're moving house. I mean, this is people that listen to the show will know that I've been waiting since about January to move into this place. So nearly a year. So it's all good. It's all good. Yeah. Michelle, it's been last time we spoke to you, I think you've been open like 3 days, right? Something like that.
I think might have been our opening day, actually. It was really, really early on, yeah.
Yeah. Has it been, because like you'd come from Telford to here, has it been what you wanted it to be?
We've got some lovely customers. It's been great. I mean, obviously COVID, so not as great as we'd hoped, but we're getting some really lovely regular people, and it's a lovely place to be. The other shop owners and everyone there are lovely, so it's a really nice place to work. So yeah, really enjoying it, and it's great.
I love being in the parade. I love going there. I pop in to just grab a bit of kit. I haven't been in there for a long, long time because I'm staying away from. We spoke on the phone a couple of days ago. I'm staying away for Christmas because I don't want to add to the crowds. But that was just my idea of sort of like with COVID and everything that was going on, just kind of like stay out of the way for a little bit. Nobody needs the biscuit there. We can do what we've been doing from Zoom. We can be back in January, which we will be. We've got plans. So COVID has been a nightmare, but have you been classed as an essential shop? Were you classed as essential?
We were, yeah, but because of the nature of the layout of the parade and things like that, and the fact that everyone else was shut, we couldn't actually open when they were closed down. So we actually spent like a weekend putting everything on an online shop. So we now have an online shop as well. So that was huge amounts of work, but it meant that we could carry on trading. So that was really quite interesting and fun and quite scary. But yeah, it's working out. It's brilliant. So even now that we're reopened, we're still having customers use our click and collect, or we can do some deliveries as well. So it's really nice.
Yeah, this is the positives of COVID, right? Obviously, we're all talking on social media now. You're using e-commerce now to keep your business going. I mean, there's always a positive there, isn't there? Yeah,
it's good for us. It's helped us reach people who couldn't necessarily come into the shop for whatever reason, or people who've been shielding or just feel a little bit uneasy coming into a shopping centre, so we can still go out and help them and take their stuff out. So it's really nice, and you get a little chat on the doorstep, which is always good as well. So yeah, it's quite fun, quite good.
How's your journey been sort of finding local suppliers for your store?
We're getting there, actually. We found some really nice local people. Some people have approached us actually once they know that we're looking for things. So we've got some lovely Christmas cards from a local vegan lady. We sell some nice crafts and things like that. So it's really, really good. Yeah, we've got some lovely companies we're working with. In fact, next year we plan to sort of boost that a lot by highlighting which products in the shop are by vegan companies or local companies, putting a little bit of blurb about the company. So when people come in, they can read about them and find out, what that person or that company do, so they can, see why we're stocking their products and, where they might be able to go out and find out more about them. So that's really cool.
I always appreciate people that, sort of support local suppliers of anything, we've spoken to many a champion of things like that, what's it been like then for you building this store? I mean, as you see, you got some new customers, but from you, this was like, let's do this again. Let's try again. What's it been like for you as a trader, this journey, since you've opened?
Yeah, it's nice, actually. It's good seeing new faces come in. People are finding us online and coming in and said, I saw this post about whatever, and I'm coming in. So that's really fun. Or there's just people passing going, wow, I didn't know there was a vegan shop here, and coming in and talking to us about what we've got, and, asking us to supply things they can't find elsewhere, which we're really trying hard to do, bring in new stock for people, or just ordering something specifically for a person. It's really nice, trying to help out people find things they can't find, and then chatting to new vegans and people who are interested is really good.
Yeah, that's new vegans. Have you had lots of new vegans?
We've had a fair few, but we're anticipating a lot more in January, actually, because of Veganuary. So we're anticipating people trying out vegan, foods and things because they're trying to be vegan for January. So that's when we think we're going to get a lot more new vegans in. So it'd be great.
Yeah. Look, the last time we spoke, I told you about my hero, Kevin Smith. He went vegan, saved his life, right? I've done the keto thing. I'd lost loads of weight, put weight back on, and the idea is to move into the
keto. Yeah,
it's good. It was good though. It worked for me. It really did. But the problem was, we were like the stresses of waiting to move into this place have been. Like
moving very stressful. Yeah.
Well, no, it was more. We were paying just as much in storage as we would be on rent. Like that's how bad it has been. It's been a nightmare. But like, so we kind of come off the keto. We're like, we'll do it when we get into the new place. New place, new me.
What you're about to say is, in January we're going to try going vegan. Yeah.
Okay, so my hero Kevin Smith, he changed to vegan, and it changed his life, and that really inspired. And there was a while when I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna go vegan. But the thing is with me, I'm either all in or I'm not. Right? So like with the keto thing, I literally am. Bam! Like I'm weighing things. I'm doing things properly. I'm reading the labels. I'm very very militant on it. With the vegan thing, I don't know if I could. There's certain things I think I would miss in my diet, like cheese, for example. Cheese is in everything. Like, how could I live without cheese, It
is tricky. I mean, most people struggle with cheese rather than anything else. And I must admit, the alternatives, they haven't quite got there yet. There are some brilliant ones, but you don't want to compare them with dairy cheese because they're not the same. But there are some really good ones out there, and we're trying to stock more of the artisan nice cheeses in the shop, rather than the ones you get in the supermarkets, which you have to admit are a bit rubbish.
It's going to take a while. This is the thing, though, isn't it? Right? You've got to be completely committed. You got to zen your way through that sort of stuff. And keto.
Well, not everyone does. I mean, people do a step-by-step way into being vegan. I mean, most people started off as vegetarian, for example. Not everybody, and then you get used to having different sorts of foods, and then giving up dairy seems like a big step for a lot of people, but actually I think once you've done it and you've maybe a couple of weeks in, you're fine. You just got to make that commitment and decide you're actually going to do it. But there's a lot of great alternatives. I mean, I went vegan, I think I said before, like 25 years ago, and the alternatives were very limited and not very good, whereas now you've got loads of choice, and loads of the shops are bringing out new products with Veganuary again. So there's going to be loads of new stuff out there as well. Yeah,
and I would never ever be like, "Oh, what you're doing is terrible." I would never do that. You know me, because I support anybody and what they do. I don't know. I'd like to try it, but at the moment, my problem is I'm the way the thing is. My life's in boxes at the moment, and this is the main reason why we weren't going to do keto until we moved into a new place, because we knew that there would be an occasion when we'd have everything in boxes and it'd be like just easy just to ring the chippy, and that's it. It's out the window then, and it knocks me out my routine, and that's it.
That's the good thing about going vegan, is if you want to eat out anywhere, there's actually an option everywhere now, so you don't have to worry about that. It's really amazing. I'm really astounded and completely surprised on how it's kind of taken off everywhere. It's really, really good.
Yeah, I like that too, because as much as I'm not a big fan, there are people that love this, and like I said, it saved my homeboy Kevin Smith's life. There are people out there that really do appreciate it. And when
you're back in the parade, you need to come in our shop, and I'll give you some things to try, see how you get on, because we've got some really nice products in there.
Do you know what we could do? Actually, I've got a really good idea. Maybe we can Liam Tinsley's just been on our show from Feast, right? He's a chef. Maybe we could do a taste test, taste A, taste B, and see if I can taste the normal thing to the vegan thing.
Sounds interesting. We'll have to have a chat about it. Yeah, That sounds good.
That might be good, actually. I appreciate it.
I'll make you some nice brownies and things like that. You probably won't be able to tell the difference between those.
I'll have to get Dee involved. She's the baker amongst us. And you know, with keto, there are different levels of sort of strictness you can adhere to. There's dirty keto, for example, where you can kind of be a bit more, you can break the rules a little bit more. There's lazy keto. There's all these kind of different versions of it. Is that the same for veganism? Is it you're either all in or not, or is there a huge political sort of thing going on in the background? I don't know. What's it like?
For me, I think if people are going to eat some vegan food instead of eating meat and dairy sometimes, that's brilliant. It's better than not doing it at all. However, if you're calling yourself a vegan, you have to be all in it 100%. A lot of people call themselves plant-based because they maybe aren't vegan in all aspects of their life, maybe just their diet. So, you know, because veganism obviously isn't just to do with what you eat, it's to do with what you wear and what you do with your life and other things as well. So, you know, and there's a lot of very, very strict vegans in the community who will argue, you know, I'm using a phone and that's not vegan. So, you know, I'm not a vegan. So, you know, it just depends on how far you take it. And my attitude is you need to be comfortable in your own mind about what you're doing. You know, there are people who have to have medication to survive. Medication is never vegan. I wouldn't say that those people aren't vegan because they're taking life-saving medication, but other people might. You know, you've just got to work out in yourself, in your head, in your own moral compass, what you feel is the best thing to do for you, really.
Yeah, that's nice. I think you spoke about that last time. Mm-hmm. And, you know, not wanting to retrace our steps. I mean, there might be people who might not have heard that episode, so I'm glad we did that again. Let's talk about Veganuary, because this is a big thing. Like, where did this come from, Veganuary? Obviously, it's a big worldwide thing, you know.
I think it was this country started. I'm not entirely sure. It started in 2014 when they were just encouraging people to go vegan for January, and it was really, really small. But what they do is they send out emails and things every day to help you, to keep you going, you know, to give you some positive feedback and something nice every day to keep your motivation up and to keep you going. And they had quite a small amount of people doing it then. But like 2020, they had 400,000 people sign up to Veganuary. And that was amazing. And in 2019, it was 250,000. So it's really growing and growing and growing. But in Shropshire, we really like it because we put Veganuary adverts on the buses in Shrewsbury and Telford, local vegans. And so we really push Veganuary around here, and we try and do that, try and grab attention for people. It's caused a little bit of controversy in the past, which actually has helped us get more promotion for Veganuary as a result. But it's been great. And we try and raise money for Veganuary all the way through the year to try and get these ads up and try and get, you know, lots of people interested. And in the shop, we're going to be handing out lots of flyers, and I've got lots to put door to door and things like that. We really try and push it and help people think about making, even if it's just a small change, but hopefully going the whole way, you know.
I'm just checking now because I'm pretty sure I read somewhere about Joe Rogan doing Veganuary.
I'm not sure. I haven't looked at the celebrities.
It was the complete opposite. Absolute opposite. We went for the carnivore diet. But no, I mean, have you had people that have tried Veganuary before and it's changed their lives?
Yeah, I mean, people who have thought, I don't think you go into it without having any knowledge of veganism at all. Maybe people have been thinking about it for a long time and decided, okay, I'm actually going to go for it. I think after Christmas is a great time to start because everyone's feeling a bit heavy and full and, you know, overweight from indulgence. They want to try and do a healthy thing. And obviously veganism isn't always healthy. You know, it depends what you choose, but it's a great start to changing the way you eat. And, you know, I know quite a few people who started off doing Veganuary and they may not have stayed vegan immediately afterwards, but then later did go the whole way. So, yeah, I think it's a real good starting point for a lot of people.
Yeah, and you were talking about the controversy, having adverts on buses. Whoa, look at them, vegans. You know, how do you guys deal with that? Is that because, like, it's not exactly it's not an elephant in the room, is it? Really, is that the cat is out of the bag? People feel how they feel about vegans, and like I don't agree with how people think, but you know, I see it. How do you guys deal with that?
Well, it was interesting because it was one of the local councillors who actually complained about it, because we're a farming community in Shropshire. We shouldn't be promoting veganism. I don't think he realises that we're not anti-farming. We want them to carry on farming. We just want them to change what they farm, And he had a real problem with it, and he tried to get them taken off the buses and complained to the bus company and all this. It was really over the top. I think he felt he was represented his constituency maybe by complaining about this. And actually, as you know, everyone's aware of veganism now. You can make your own choices. I mean, I think that year's adverts had a bit of a blurb about, I think it was about how short a life some of the animals have, that kind of thing. And he was denying it was true. But obviously the ads are run through Veganuary. It's all legally checked. Everything they put on the adverts is completely legit and true. So he couldn't get anywhere with it, but actually caused a massive uproar. And I was on Radio 5 and I was in The Guardian. It was really, really big that year. So it really, really helped the campaign. The guys from Veganuary were on breakfast telly and all kinds of things as a result of it. So that's why we carry on with it, because actually if you have a little bit of somebody having a bit of it, showing they're a bit annoyed about it, it actually helps promote the cause. And I don't think they necessarily realise that.
I think people do that with anything that's different to them, don't they? See something different, like, oh, don't be different. I'm going to say something to you. You see it a lot, with.
Yeah, I mean, we get a few messages sent at us occasionally, people having a bit of a go. And especially on social media, because, people like to argue because you don't know who they are. And the best thing to do is just, take the notice. There's no point in arguing with someone who's going to start off like that. They just want an argument. They're not going to ever listen to your point of view. So generally, we decide to just let it lie, not get into the argument. And if people are genuinely asking for help or it's a genuine question, that's the sort of people we respond to, really.
I mean, this year has been an interesting one. I mean, like, it's ended well. I mean, I'm an oddball. I consider myself an oddball, right? I got this big beard in this podcast and the belly and wearing an Ant-Man t-shirt now. I wouldn't consider myself as a normal person, right? And the king of the oddballs, Bill Bailey, I don't watch Strictly, but he's just won Strictly Come Dancing, and I'm just like, wait, Bill Bailey,
Yeah.
Bill Bailey, what? Bill Bailey just won Strictly. That's amazing. So as a metaphor, it's kind of like, that's different, right? That's different. That's not the norm. Bill Bailey has never been normal. Playing Metallica with horns is not normal. That's why I love him. So this year being the oddball year with COVID, what have you guys learned throughout this weird year that we've had?
Interesting question. I think basically it's to kind of try and find new ways of approaching things. So if the barriers come up and you can't do things the way you were thinking about doing them, you've got to find another way. So that's why we changed to go online, for example, or in the shop we've had to make some changes. We were going to do lots of great things. We were going to put on vegan fair. We had to put on a virtual vegan fair instead, because we couldn't actually go out there and do it, because we were just a bit worried about spacing people out and all that kind of thing. So and it's made us kind of step back and think about, is there a different way we can promote it that isn't our normal way, because you can't always do things in the same way. So certainly moving a lot more things online has been a massive change. I mean, we were already doing a lot online, but, doing more and more that way, and keeping it safe and communicating maybe differently.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking about the studio. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm thinking of buying some perspex and having like headphone wires feed from underneath the table and stuff, so that we can have some perspex. Because you can't wear a mask and record. You can't. You sound like Darth Vader.
It's harder for customers, actually. I mean, I know we have to do it and it's fair enough, but people come in, you don't always recognise them, and you're having a conversation with someone and you communicate a lot by looking at their facial expressions. And it's really hard to know whether they're understanding what you're saying in the same sort of way. But you just have to work with it. Maybe you have to ask a few more questions rather than judge by how they look. But you get around it and it's worth it, because if it means you're helping people stay safe, then you've just got to do it, haven't you?
Yeah, well, I want to carry on, obviously, doing what we're doing. I want to do more in person, because I think what we're doing is awesome. Of course I'm going to say that. It's my thing, but I want to do it safely. I don't ever want to be accused of breaking the rules and putting people at risk. But it seems like Shrewsbury's kind of trying its best. I mean, like, there's been complaints about them like dragging those cones alongside the down the cop, and trying to make the pavements wide. But I think at least they're trying. There's a lot of places that haven't, and they tried to make it easier for people to get out there, and it's easy to be like, oh, but like you got to think about what would you do in that situation? What would you do, and why are you not telling people?
Yeah, I think we just need to accept we need to do things a little bit differently. And actually, I think Shrewsbury has been good. I think shutting the town centre is brilliant because it's a fantastic thing for pollution in the centre of Shrewsbury to get the traffic out. And I'm hoping that people will get used to not driving through the centre, and then they can close it permanently, because I think that would be really good. Much better to encourage pedestrians in the centre. You'd actually get more business, I think, because people would feel safer walking through town and easier to cross the roads and everything else. I think it'd be brilliant.
My only issue with it is, and this is very petty, and I've just told people on this show, don't be petty. And what I'm going to say is, it's like it's not a pedestrian area, right? And it makes sense to me in my head that I shouldn't be encouraging my son to walk on the road, because one day he's going to do it, and he's going to be, oh, I'm absolutely safe, and there isn't. There's a lorry coming behind him. Do you know what I mean? Like his school in Colham, they've made like a school zone, so they closed the road halfway down so that the kids can all walk on the road so they can space out. But I'm still walking him on the pavement because I don't want to encourage him to walk on the road. He's 5. You know what I mean? Like it's silly. Yeah. It's not always going to be like that.
Yeah, I understand that. But I think they could just make the centre of Shrewsbury look like a pedestrian area, and then only allow cars before 8, after 7, or something like that for deliveries. They do it in other towns. I'm sure there's a ways around it.
I think once we get that relief road up and running, and so that you're not pushing the traffic all up there.
Controversial.
Yeah. It is controversial.
No, I don't agree with the relief road.
I know there are people but castle walls, like pushing all the traffic up there, it's not wide enough, is it? I mean, this is the problem with the problem with Shrewsbury is it's enclosed.
Need to encourage the traffic into park and rides and not into the centre. That's what they need to do. And the relief, what happens is you build more roads, you get more traffic. It won't stop the traffic in the centre, it'll just encourage more traffic out. That's what happens when you build new roads. There's evidence to show this. So it's actually not going to help a great deal, but it is going to hinder all the countryside that goes through. So for me, it's not the answer. They need to be thinking out green solutions and not adding more traffic.
I like what they did with the metro in New York. They kind of closed it all off and made it nice walkways, planted pots and nice graffiti and stuff. We are not New York, I know, but there is a problem. We need a genius to come and solve it for us, because we are surrounded by water and in Shrewsbury, and it's very difficult to kind of build anything new. We can't really spread out anywhere, so it's difficult. Yeah, it's difficult. But yeah, so what are you guys doing for Veganuary then? Are you making big plans? Are there going to be offers, or are you going to be encouraging people to come and buy certain things? Got t-shirts out? I don't know. What are you guys doing?
We've got we're going to be actually on our online. We're going to be having a little hint every day for how to help you through Veganuary, but they're going to be a bit quirky, a bit funny. They're not going to be sort of boring and ordinary. So we're going to do that. And in the shop, we will have some offers in January for sure. We haven't decided what yet, but we're going to be putting certain things on, and we're going to have try and get people reasons to come in and visit us and talk about going vegan. So yeah, we'll be doing some great things. We just haven't totally worked out what they are yet, but we will. I think it depends on whether we're actually going to be allowed to be open in January. So we're kind of hesitating a little bit because we're wondering if they're going to lock us down again. So that's why we're focusing on the online thing to start with, because we can definitely do that.
Yeah. Nice. And seems like a stupid question to ask. Probably not though. But how do you become vegan? Like, can it make you poorly? Is there ways you can prepare? Like.
Preparing, probably you just need to know what nutrients you need in your diet. Now, everyone should know that anyway. It doesn't matter if you're a vegan or whatever you eat, you should know. And having a balanced diet is not that hard. I think people think it's really difficult. You're going to miss out on this or that and the other, and actually you don't. And there are a few vegan multivitamins. So if you're really worried, you can take one of those, and then you're covered, and you don't actually need to worry about what you're eating. But it's just a case of making sure that you get enough of a range. So I would say if you eat a good range of fruit and veg, and then some proteins like your beans and pulses or whatever, you'll be fine. you don't actually need to be that worried. But if you are, there's lots of places online you can go for advice, find out what you should be doing. Veganuary themselves will have some info about that if people want to have a look. But really, it's not that difficult. Certainly, if you're doing it just for January, you won't die of malnutrition in a month of having a vegan diet. In fact, you'll probably have better nutrition because you'll be eating a wider range of foods. I would have thought, more fruit, veg, what have you.
Okay. So it's the 27th now, as you're listening to this. It's 2 days after Christmas. You guys are still bloated from your Christmas dinner. If you're listening to this and you're thinking, I could probably try that, lower my cholesterol a bit, and I don't know, balance a few things out. Try veganism. You can try it for a month, and you're listening to the show. Get in touch, and I'd love to. Maybe we can get one of the biscuiteers to do it. I'm not in a situation to be able to do it at the moment. Otherwise, I would. I would never. I've made a lot of promises on the show that I haven't filled. I was going to do something for Age UK, and I was going to do the bits for charity, and I haven't been able to because I've been so busy. And at the moment, I don't want to be like, yeah, I'll do it, and I'm surrounded by boxes and no opportunity to sort of prepare. So I would love any listeners that are listening right now to get in touch if you're going to take part in Veganuary, and we can document what's going on. We can sort of share pictures of yours and stuff. That'd be really nice. I really would like that. Michelle, I wish you like the best of luck with the show. I love chatting to you. Since you and Bagita and there's just been an influx of just nice people downstairs in the parade, and it's just such a nice people.
It's lovely people down there to work with. It's really, really nice. Be good to have you back.
Yeah, I miss the place. I just don't want to add to the chaos, And I'm confused at the moment. I'm confused with what's going on. I just don't know what I can and can't do. Can I go and record right now? I don't think I can,
Not without a mask, no. So
exactly.
But if you get some screens, I reckon you'll be all right. So
what we need is we need to make like a recording booth. So like we're inside a little booth and people come in and just sit down, put the headphones on. Hello and welcome to the biscuit. Probably less psychopathic, like put the headphones on, Clarice. Are you making any New Year's resolutions? I think that's do we make New Year's resolutions for 2021, or have we been tortured enough? Yeah, that's the question.
Well, I usually try and think I'm going to be a bit healthy in the last about 2 days, so I'm not sure it's worth doing. Definitely, we want to try, expand what we're doing, help promote more small local businesses who are doing great, who are making vegan products. That's what I really want to do this year: is get less, big company products off on the shelves and more small little businesses. So for the business, that's my aim for next year. So that'd be really good. I
don't want to cut my beard for the whole of 2021. That's what I want to
do. We'd be tripping over it by the end of the year.
Yeah. That's what I want to do. I like it, man. This is new for me, this beard thing. I'm kind of slaying it, I think. Michelle, you've been awesome. Thank you so much for joining us on the show. We shouldn't leave this too long. Let everybody get back to their sort of day after Boxing Day. Wow. Okay. Hope you guys have had a great Christmas. Do me a favor, guys. Check out our website, which is www.theshrewsburybiscuitpodcast.co.uk. And that is made for us by our friends at Web Orchard. Do you want to tell people where they can order things online from your store, Michelle, if they wanted to?
Yeah, sure. You can go to the shops, the Vegan Hub. If you type in the Vegan Hub, you can find our website, or you can find us on Facebook, or it's the veganhub.square.site is our online shop. So people go there and have a look at what we've got.
Nice. And it's taken off, you said? It's like really like done well.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's really helped us. Helped us during when we were closed for a bit, and people are still ordering now, so it's great. It's really good.
The wonders of technology. We won't be doing this otherwise. You won't be able to. Yeah, this is. I love what the way things are. We'll get you on again after Veganuary, and we'll find out sort of if you've managed to change people's lives and stuff. And I'm sorry if any of my any of my questions seemed a bit cynical, but I think as a true journalist, as a person with holding the microphone, you've got to ask those questions, haven't you? I've kind of got to get those questions answered, But no, I always love chatting to you, and we'll catch you guys next time. All right, peace out.
Yeah, sure. See you soon. Bye.
Bye.